Yo, how's your day? Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Greetings and salutations. What's good, my dudes? Can you hear me all right? Where are you tuning in from today? We're gonna be playing with the cards. Just focused. Just found a rhythm, you know. What a beautiful kalimba. Today is Tarot Tuesday. You know what that means? We'll be reading for all 12 houses. General readings for every house, every sign in the Zodiac tonight. Welcome in. Greetings and salutations. What's good, everybody? How's today? What you want to learn? Welcome in. How's the audio? Can you hear me clearly? What's good, Paige? How are you, dude? It's been a bit. Baba. Glad to hear it. Happy Tuesday. I'm flowing. I feel good. Hey, and of course I cut the deck. And there it is. There it is. Focused. Glad to be here today. Super stoked for Tarot Tuesday. Tarot Tuesday. We always begin for Aries, house number 1. Then we'll make our way all the way to Pisces to house number 12. Sure did. Look at that, the magic and all the connections. I am so grateful. How are you, Retro Rocket? Stick around and learn a little bit, Veronica. The best way. In fact, I have a class that's called Intro to the Tarot 101 on my YouTube. You can find the link through my bio. It's donation based. It's you can only access the video if you get the link, but it's up for free on my website, which is zenthealchemist.com over there in the bio. So if you wanted the course, the recording to my class, Intro to the Tarot 101, even for $0.00, you can get it right now. You can go watch it. Nonetheless, we're about to get started. We all have all 12 houses as well when it comes to the Zodiac. If you've never looked up your natal chart, I highly recommend you go do so. You can look up natal chart. I would recommend Cafe Astrology, if you ask me. That's how you can see your entire birth chart. Your entire birth chart is basically like a birth certificate from the stars. Everybody has their own unique birth chart. Nobody has the same birth chart. It's a very epic imprint of you as a cosmic individual. So if you want to learn about your houses, I recommend go looking that up. We always begin with house number 1. That's the beginning of the Zodiac, Aries. Do we have any Aries, sun, moon, or ascendants in the house? Aries, house number 1, but we all have a first house placement. The first house is the idea of the self. It's kind of like when the human is conceived, like right at that instant, when the masculine and the feminine merge into union. It's like the thought of you and you as a spark of divinity taking on a body, still in the womb, little zygote baby. I see the Aries out here. We got an eagle in the room, wild child. Alright, well, we're going to begin with the first house, so wherever you have first house in your chart, if you have any Aries placements, perhaps this message will resonate with you. My dudes. Yes, Aries is the identity, the idea of self, you as your eternal essence throughout all lifetimes, that one thread that connects every bit of your existence. Aries, house number 1. First, here for it, we're going to begin this evening. Salutations, everybody. Welcome in. If it's your first time here, greetings. I didn't even introduce myself yet. How rude. It's good to see you. I'm Gavin Zen. Welcome in. We're about to begin. If you're ready for these readings, go ahead and drop that sunflower emoji so I know that you're ready. Maybe go get yourself some water, some snacks, sit back, relax. Good to see you today. All right. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Natasha's listening. Jenna, I appreciate you. Awesome sauce. MJ, I see you today. All the sunflowers out here. We are ready to get started. Shouts out, Paige. Thank you, you legend. You legend, you. Alright, Aries for my dudes. House number 1, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Aries, what's the message? Any words of wisdom, synchronicities, guidance, omens? For the first house today, what shall we focus on? Let us see what these cards want to say. Let's get right to it, my dudes. Cards are jumping out my hands. They are stoked. We cut once more. We clear the energy. We let the deck rest. We draw 2 from the top. Do 3 cards for each house today. Right now we have totality here. Reverse. Comparison here as well as in reverse. And the stress card here. All these cards in reverse for the first house tonight. This is a very strong message right off the bat with the stress card there in the reverse, the comparison and the totality cards. I'm getting this energy that the foundations are shifting and new life is emerging, and that's where this stress is coming from. It's like growing pains energy. It's like the stress that you put on your muscles when you're exercising in your gym and you're focusing on continuing to strengthen that what it is that you have been working on. Yes, the crucial aspect is not compare yourself. The comparisons here, like we have the bamboo and the tree here, like they're 2 unique individuals. When you're in the gym, you're not looking at other people like saying, oh, they're stronger than me. Like, no, we're here to focus on fine-tuning ourselves in all of our totality and recognizing the uniquity within everything. But with the first house and this message being here, I'm getting this energy that the entire identity is perhaps being challenged at this moment to some degree. It's a very strong message that wants to move through me, my intuition, the way I'm interpreting these cards. It's like these 3 cards I'm seeing as the Tower card. If you're familiar with the cards, then you ought to know, but the Tower is oftentimes just like a shift in dynamics, and it seems that there's a clearing happening here, and the truth, the aspect of self, like the first house, that which remains throughout every single lifetime, will continue to I was looking for a word that rhymed, but it will continue to emulate or permeate through your beingness. Yes. So right now, just reminding ourselves to stay true to who we are in our eternal sense of self. And if we don't know who that is, then defining that for ourselves ultimately. Yes, I'm nothing, just a random dude on the internet. Nothing more than a reflection of you. It's good to see you. Salutations and greetings, my dudes. But the stressors can be a great teacher ultimately, rather than taking it so personally and then feeding into it. But ultimately, when it's in the heat of the moment, like, of course, like, it's difficult. That's where the real practice comes to play. Anyway, just some cards. If it resonates, bring it with you. Let it do its thing, but you don't have to hold on to it. I'm just, like I said, just nothing more than a reflection out here on the internet, but ultimately you are the creator, so if it doesn't resonate, you can release it, that's for sure. Just a humble internet boy out here. What's good, Carrie? Good to see you, Carrie. Salutations, champ. I hope your evening is treating you lovely. We're going to continue to flow forward. House number 2. Taurus, my dudes. Taurus. The ruling planet of Taurus is Venus. Taurus, house number 2 is all about our values, what it is that we hold near and dear to our core. Also, it can be expressed in a financial fashion, or resources, or how we exude and embody our value into the world, what it is that we find value in, whether that be coins or connection. Taurus, house number 2. What is the message? Do I have any Taurus here tonight? Let me know. Say what's up. Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Otherwise, wherever you have a second house placement, we're gonna cut this deck. We're gonna clear it. We'll let it rest. We'll draw 3 cards. So we have nothingness here. House number 2, Taurus, nothingness. We have existence here. Reverse. Going with the flow here, also in reverse. Taurus, right now, house number 2, strong message of returning to one's roots, returning to that space within. Yes, your aspect of self that cannot be defined, cannot be caged, cannot be tamed, that nothingness within, because ultimately it is empty. In the most beautiful way. It's not to be scary. Right now, it's very strong winter energy, returning to the dark, but not having to make the darkness negative, returning to one's internal space and learning how to shift your awareness within. Right now, redirecting the flow, introspectively, reflecting on one's life. What do you value, and how is that playing out in your life? When you are simply here to exist, we're not here to do anything aside from that, ultimately, though all of these projections oftentimes are imposed upon us due to this matrix in which we have inhabited or inherited. When we get to know ourselves on this level, to our truth, to our core, then we can stay true in this and we can let it flow through us effortless. Right now, just being reminded of the time of returning inward, especially as the seasons are changing, it's getting colder. It's just staying focused on that. And like I said a moment ago, like I am nothing more than a reflection of you. Ultimately, that is how I see myself. I am nothing, and I'm so happy to know that, which is just very freeing, because ultimately none of this is real. It's all just an illusion unfolding. And the goal is to learn how to create from that space of truth and learning how to then sustain these ways of beingness, because ultimately the truth remains and it is eternal and cannot be shaken or faltered. And then this is like the paradox of life. It's like, well, nothing lasts forever, and that's exactly it. Like learning how to tap into one's nothingness, that aspect of self that lasts forever, that eternal aspect that cannot be defined or put into words. But the whole goal of words is attempting to create an image around that, what it is that we are attempting or wishing to communicate. Our reality is a perception based on our projection. Absolutely. We are everything and nothing. Gratitude to you. Exactly. And so like, just very like much finding peace in that. And then where do we go from here? Just like learning how to be a cosmic conduit. And for me personally, like as I've made peace with this aspect of my existence, is now like, okay, well, then there's something greater than me happening here. Universe, what do you want from me, and how can I continue to show up and do this? And that's one of the main reasons why we just do these things with the cards, honestly, because it's like, okay, I get to be a cosmic conduit. Like, epic. All right, we're gonna flow forward. Because I can just like ramble about that for eternity, and ultimately I don't want to keep you waiting. Gemini, house number 3. I see you, my dude. Gemini, the element of the moon. Excuse me, Mercury. Cancer is the moon. I have a Gemini moon. I'm a little biased. My moon. Gemini, house number 3, is about communication, verbalization, how it is that we express, that what it is that we value, and how we find ourselves in our internal sense of self. If you have any Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendant placements, this could be a reading for you, or wherever you have that house number 3, what it is that you are being encouraged to communicate into your reality. Let's see what these cards are going to say today. We're going to get right to it. We'll draw 2. Curious, focused, Gemini. We have the outsider here. The outsider. We have celebration here. We have sorrow here in the root. this is how I'm interpreting these cards right now. That which you had once been like made you stand out. Perhaps you were made fun of. Perhaps people belittled you or attempted to hold you back because of some aspect of self that would made you unique ultimately, because this society wants us to conform, but when you choose to be yourself and be unique, you're seen as an outsider, and oftentimes people will project sorrow onto this space. This is for house number 3, Gemini, today. Right now, though, you're being celebrated for those things that once brought sorrow to you, learning how to wield these aspects of self as your magic, learning how to practice alchemy, ultimately. Starshine, thank you for the gift. I do appreciate this dearly. Right now, we are reading for house number 3, Gemini energy. So with the sorrow card here in the root, it's learning how to shift the sorrow into celebration and learning how to honor these aspects of ourself that maybe we were once belittled or made us feel self-conscious, because the society has a very specific image of how it wishes its contributing members to appear unto this world, and it will do everything in its power to put down the person who stands out, though this is crumbling right before our very eyes. And so now is our time to continue to rise and shine and celebrate life. Even just by celebrating life, we are reclaiming our power, because the system that we call society operates on the sorrow of the individual, on the pain, the suffering, and the trauma of the person. Literally, by attempting to convince an individual that they're not good enough, they're able to be like, okay, but you're not good enough, so now you can buy all these products to make you good enough. And it's like, or you can work this job to make you good enough, or you can, it's like, you need to be this very, check off the list. And like, none of that is true, because you are amazing within yourself. Every cell within your being celebrates your being, and the things that once could have brought us sorrow can actually be where our true magic and power resides. So it's learning how to continue to double down on yourself. And I'm seeing the cards like are showing just like more complimentary energy than anything. I feel like I'm kind of preaching to this choir at this moment in time, but at the same time, it never hurts to be reminded a little message like this. Yeah, you don't have to take anybody's projections personally. That's not your responsibility. And learning how to just like continue to strengthen and step into your gifts is a lifelong thing. We'll never stop. We'll never stop. All right. Thanks, Gemini. Appreciate that. Little cute reading. I felt like I was talking to my younger self with that conversation. And keep it flowing. We got house number 4 on the table, soon enough. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. House number 4 is the home. Yes, indeed. House number 4 is the family, the psychic union of the people that you share space with. Starshine, thank you for the gift. I do truly appreciate your generosity. Epic star adventures, indeed. With the Sun in Libra and the Node in Libra, what does it mean? Good question. Right now we're reading for Cancer, but I'll get to that in a second. Sun, Moon, Ascendant, house number 4, wherever you have this placement. Get right to it. Shuffle once more. We'll draw 2. Solid. Wow. Wow. Very beautiful cards for the Cancer 4th house tonight. For the home, we have receptivity here. Abundance here in reverse. Receptivity and abundance right around the corner. Harmony here. Harmony is also in reverse in the root. Beautiful cards. Very uplifting energy for house number 4 this evening. Yeah, look at those. So pretty. This is Cancer. Right now, we're being reminded of the importance of being receptive. I think that's one of the perfect cards to show Cancer, for they're so sensitive, But like ultimately, like being receptive, like learning how to receive compliments, learning how to receive gifts, learning how to receive that which this universe wishes to bestow upon you ultimately by focusing your frequency on harmony rather than all about me, which is not an energy I'm really getting from those of y'all chilling with us this evening. It's not all about me, you know, like we're all playing our own unique frequency, our own unique expression onto this cosmic symphony that we call life, and we learn how to show up and be ourselves. This is how we can harmonize. So it's important to stay receptive to the world around us so that we know how to harmonize. And I'm getting this sense that, like, in fact, receiving more for you is actually what's going to allow the world to harmonize greater. Learning how to receive the abundance exactly is like going to actually increase the harmony of the world within and all around thee, because you're creating blockages for yourself by believing that you're not good enough. You're creating blockages for yourself. This is for anybody who it resonates with this. You're creating blockages. This is why these two cards are in reverse, these cards right around the corner. It's like, stay receptive. Like, know that the universe wants you to receive that this gift is attempting to bestow upon you. And by you saying, oh, like, I don't know, can I, yada, yada. It's like, dude, stop doubting yourself. Like, the universe would never hand you something that you're not capable of handling. You're only going to be given things that you are capable of taking care of. So continue to show up to the best of your ability. Don't get lazy. Don't let past patterns or ways of beingness get in the way of you now stepping into this level of abundance of life, ultimately. But staying receptive and being responsible. That card's not on the table. There isn't a responsibility card, but that's between the cards. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, with great power comes great responsibility. And learning how to stay receptive is key, especially if you're receiving all the abundance. Because when you have the abundance, you still want to be receptive. You don't want to close yourself off and feel like you need to shield yourself from the world. No, like, this is a lifelong journey of staying in harmony, staying open, staying flowing. Because that's how you circulate the abundance, and that's how you keep it growing, which is life was really all about. Abundance is much more about nature than it is about money. Nature is the most abundant being there is. Money is a made-up concept, at least currency, at least the current system in which we exist. Yes, we do have to work with it because, you know, that is the world in which we live. Though ultimately, like, abundance can literally just being like having joy in your heart and being satisfied with what is before you. And if you feel called to acquire more currency, then, like, stay receptive to your signs and your personal connection with the universe, and she'll tell you. But ultimately, it's so much bigger than that. It's so much more about feeling harmonious and feeling abundance. And by being receptive of all the things that are already supporting us is a great way to start shifting our awareness into that frequency. So thank you for being here and co-creating this. I appreciate you. Let's keep flowing. House number 4. What a solid read. Yes, focusing the frequency is key. And Virgo will be house number 6. Right now we have house number 5, Leo. Yes. That question about the Libra, the sun and the nodes. So right now the nodes just shifted. North node is in Aries, south node is in Libra. Right now the sun just moved into Libra as well. Maybe that's why this shift of the season plus the equinox has been pretty, I want to say, visceral, feeling that shift within one's beingness. And the south node is the past. It's where we come from. The north node is where we're going. So with it shifting into the, like, with the sun being focused on the south node, it's bringing to light previous ways of connection, conversation, and communication. Because Libra is 7th house, which is all about communication with fellow reflections, building community, building conversation. So perhaps it's bringing a lot of light to aspects of self that we don't want to bring with us moving forward. We're allowing ourselves a moment to reflect on previous connections that we shared and be like, okay, what did I really like about that connection? What do I not like about that connection? When I'm moving forward with my life, what do I want to implement into my connections? How can I show up, and how can I continue to be my best self for myself and the world around me, ultimately? Because we're nothing more than reflections of each other, and really what it's all about is harmony. We flow. So yeah, thanks for that question. Next, house number 5. Yes, getting rid of that so there can be room for new meaningful connections. Absolutely. Yes, don't get stuck out there. Right now we're doing readings for all 12 houses. all 12 houses. This is Tarot Tuesday. So right now we're reading for the collective. We're now moving to house number 5. House number 5 is Leo. Leo, sun, moon, ascendants, wherever you have the 5th house. 5th house is the ego. It's the desire. It's what you wish and want in this world. Leo, sun, moon, ascendant. 5th house. This is your expression and how you shine onto the world. Yes. We cut it. We clear it. We let it rest. We draw 2. Ooh. Schizophrenia here. 5th house. Celebration here in reverse. Celebration, schizophrenia, and understanding here. I'm gonna get deep with this, I guess, depending on where you are and what you think. It's not crazy to think that you are the center of the universe. Like, this is what 5th house energy is really all about. You are the center of your universe. If Aries is personality, personal reality, Leo is then that exuding from your internal flame to your external flame and learning how to create your personality right before your very eyes. And it's not selfish to see yourself as the center of your universe, because we're all the center of our own universes. And if we all saw ourselves as the center of our universes, then we would learn how to see each other eye to eye greater. No one is above one another. No one is better than one another. We all are in our own center. And I know it can sound crazy to say this, but like literally, like, your body is a star. Your body is always exuding light and is shining just like Leo. Right now, we're here to celebrate ourselves, ultimately learning how to be ourselves and live life in a sense of celebration, because life is meant to be enjoyed, and Leo is a very good embodiment of that, to the fact where it can almost drive people wild. But really all we're here to do is get to know ourselves. But like, the system, society, like, makes it so much more complicated than it needs to be. So much more complicated than it needs to be. Understanding, getting to know who you are and why you're here ultimately, and then moving forward from that place. And I feel like one of the simplest and most important things that we are here to do is just celebrate, just to be ourselves, and learning how to find that to the core. And like, there's all these little like hiccups that happen along the way that the system has created to distract us. Basically, it's like, just to like be blunt with it, exactly, though, knowing thyself is crucial, and then being forward for this place, like, to the point where maybe people will even think that you're kind of mad. But as long as you're not causing harm, as long as you're not doing anything wrong, as you're not being a bad person, you have no reason to take on their projections seriously. Ultimately, like, you can keep dancing in the rain even if someone calls you crazy for doing so, even if someone's afraid that you're going to get a cold. Like, no, you know yourself, and you know your immune system, and you know that you are going to have a grand old time dancing in the puddles. We're all mad here. It's like learning how to harness that aspect of the energy ultimately. And like, these, like, if I'm going to be real with you, this is not even real. This is not even real. This is made up. Schizophrenia, like, okay, yeah, I'm not saying that people don't suffer from mental illness, but I am saying that mental illnesses were discovered within the past like 50 years. They're not even real, bro. No, it has a much, I would say on my heart, man, that every mental illness has, it's either like, nurture, people receiving symptoms of mental illness is either because of a lack of nutrients and nurturing, trauma that has not been processed through the body, and disconnection from the soul. Exactly, spiritual illness. Exactly, spiritual illness. Like, I would say that like a majority of mental illness can be treated, quote unquote, treated with spirituality, because so many people are just disconnected from their soul, and ultimately everything is mental. And so when we're taught in the school system that souls don't exist because you need to have evidence for things to be real, and how are you supposed to prove that someone has a soul, that someone has had multiple lifetimes? Like, and there is people who have proved this, But at the same time, like, that's not taught in the public education system, you know? Anyway, eating disorders is another thing. That's a different concept. I'm talking about, like, depression and, um, yeah, mostly depression. But eating disorder, you know, that's another thing. Everything is so contextual, and a lot of it has to do with our attachment to our personal image. It really is, like, as much as that can be, and it's like also can potentially be parasitic energy, depending on what one is working through. But right now we're gonna flow forward because it's a completely different conversation. What's good, Amanda Lynn? Welcome in. I'm an ancient soul in a young body. I hear you, my friend. Emotional body, spiritual body, mental body are all important. Exactly. You don't need anything, honestly. The ego always comes back. You can't kill it for long. It always comes back. It deserves to be integrated, if you ask me. The ego deserves to be celebrated and integrated and honored because it is a very important aspect of the self. Exactly. Just like every bit of you. Just like the shadow. The ego and the shadow are both essential, and they both deserve to be integrated wholeheartedly. I want to know it. Exactly. Learning how to embody it from a healthy space. See, the system in which we have inherited has attempt to demonize the ego, which is like how Hollywood and celebrities came to be. Like, that's just like demonic ego expression. Just flat out, bro. But that's why, like, things like this app and YouTube and Instagram are awesome, because, like, it allows people who are not attempting to demonically express their egos onto the main stage to show up. Of course, like, you're gonna find angels and demons everywhere you go, so that's why it's good not to generalize. And ultimately, you are the one who gets determined, because you're the creator of your reality. Everything in moderation, all in the balance. We're gonna keep it flowing. I'm gonna drink some water because I'm just out here jabberjawing. Cheers. Cheers. Virgie vibes. Happy birthday. Just kidding, it's Libra season. Happy belated Virgo. Yes, gotta stay hydrated. We ready. We out here. Glowing. Thanks, friend. I do what I can. House number 6. Virgo up next. What's good? House number 6 is about the work. It's applying that. Everything that we've just talked about from house number 1 through house number 5. House number 6 is now putting it to practice, putting it to embodiment. Yes. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, the ruling planet of Mercury. Now it's body language and speaking with our actions, whereas Gemini is vocalizing our communication. Virgo is speaking as a way of living. It's walking the talk. Let's get to it. House number 6, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Shouts out all my Virgo. Wow. Here today. Let's get right to it. Change. Here. Change. Hey Court, what's good? Welcome in. Glad to hear that you got your passport. Life is good. We are currently reading for house number 6, Virgo. We have aloneness here. Aloneness and change. We have moment to moment here. Change is the only constant in life. And ultimately, you are still all one. Like, the only thing that changes is... Okay, how do I go with this? There's so much happening here in these little cards. Strong hermit energy, reminding ourselves to return to our core. And I'm getting a couple messages from these cards. Partially, potentially, I might be projecting, if I'm going to be honest, shifting from a dynamic of seeing oneself as like alone for some time, and now life becoming much more communal rather than being alone. That's the change happening, and it's like gradually here, moment to moment. It could also simply be learning how to embrace our change by staying true to who we are, like prioritizing time for yourself daily, consistently. Like having alone time is very healthy, it's very important. In fact, I think personally what I've witnessed within this world thus far is like one of the most challenging things for people is that they can't be alone. They can't, what, like even if you're by yourself, they're scrolling their phone or they're trying to do something to distract themselves from their thoughts, from their world within. But like learning how to just be is like so important, and it's like one of the biggest joys that I have found in this life. But I might be just like a little biased because it's like Pisces energy. It might be very natural for me, but getting this energy of like when we allow ourselves that time to be with ourselves, when we allow ourselves that alone time, when we prioritize time to slow down and connect with ourselves, this is how we can be steady amidst every storm. We can stay true to our core. The eye of the storm is the calmest part. And ultimately, like my favorite definition of the word alone is all one. Like aloneness is actually all one. And when we return to ourselves as single point, as the source, as the divine, we recognize that we are all one, and we can see that within each other as well. Big fan of Hermity vibe. I see you indeed. And like my favorite people are the ones who I feel like I can be a hermit with. Because ultimately that's what Hermeticism is really all about, is building an entire society where we're all empowered and in our own space. Yeah, she's out there dreaming in her own little world. She's not concerned out here. She's like, but exactly, like my favorite connections are my people who I feel like I can be alone with, where I feel like I don't have to put on a show, where I feel like I don't have to perform. It's just like I'm being myself, honestly, and I'm learning how to do that with everybody, because ultimately we're nothing more than reflections of each other, but obviously various reflections express different aspects of ourselves. Co-hermiting, that's a big vibe, exactly. And then like you get cohort from that, maybe like our cohort is like our co-hermit, like our squad of hermits all together now, because ultimately that's what Hermeticism is really all about. That's how like the ancient worlds, the ancient future was created. Shouts out if you've never heard of that book before, Ancient Future, Ancient Future by, his name will come to me in a moment. An outstanding book. And it talks about Hermeticism. The laws of Hermeticism is one of the most ancient teachings of philosophy there is, like all the way recorded supposedly back to the times of the ancient Egyptians, like when the pyramids were created. Like Thoth, the Atlantean, supposedly shared this wisdom on the emerald tablets that was found by some Mason dude supposedly in Egypt, and it gave basically 7 principles as to how life was created. And yes, exactly. And those 7 principles teach the individual to step into their own power and their divinity. And this is a practice that I've been teaching myself for about 8 years now. A path. I would consider myself a self-taught hermit. Yes, learning the laws and the practices of Hermeticism in a society that requires us to be social, which is really the beautiful polarity of it all. But ultimately, it's like seeing the rings of the Olympic circle. It's like you are complete, you are whole, you are already everything that you need. And so is everybody else. And when we can see each other from this space rather than seeing each other as half of wholes, because that's how we're taught to think, that we're like incomplete, that we're imperfect, that we're broken. Like on Christian programming, on ancient Egyptian programming, that one, I think supposedly they say that Socrates said that humans were once one, like man and woman was combined like this, but then they were separated, and that's why they had 4 arms and 4 legs, but they were separated, and then that's why man and woman exist. And so that teaching is teaching you that you're incomplete naturally. You don't need anybody outside of yourself. You have it all together right here. Of course, it's always better when we're together, though. And like when we join, this is how we create together. But we don't like we're not reliant on each other. This is what it's all about. This is Life 101, Paige. I'm not gonna stop. And so like healing means literally to be whole in several languages. Cheers. Absolutely. Just like learning how to Oh, I see you, psychic. Yeah, just out here doing the thing. Yeah, we are whole. We are. We're wholly. You know what I'm saying? It's like whole energy, like single point, whole E. Not like holes, like you have like holes through you. I mean, you could. That would also could keep you clear, but wholly as in, like your energy is whole. E being energy, whole. WHOLE. And that's all we are is energy, and like this is nothing more than energy in form, and I'm learning how to articulate this to the best of my ability. This is like so corny, very Gemini energy, but like it's really what it's all about. This is like, if this is something I'm very passionate about, at least, and like the real work here is like learning how to build ourselves first, see ourselves here, and then choosing to build, finding our reflections, and then choosing to connect with them, and then build from here. But of course, like you're only as strong as your weakest link, so that's like why the seasons change. And like some people stay and some people don't, and this is where I say that the truth remains, and it's so important to just like learn how to embrace the change moment to moment. Like this is so meta, bro, but like this is how I geek out. Like this is strong Pisces Gemini energy of learning how to communicate this nonsense, but like it's factual, and like when we can like just talk about it, like it can bring a lot of peace to us. Because like when you hear somebody say something that you've been thinking about but you never had words put to it before, like that is just so confirming and affirming, and I love when that happens for me, and I love to be able to do that. So like that's what we're all about here, like in our all oneness, because I'm just talking to myself. Like I see you, I love you so much, like words, words, words. Yeah, there it is, mic drop. Word. Absolute. 100%. So the real work is just like that. Nothing more, nothing less. It's like not getting caught up. Personally, I think I just want to end on the job thing. That's not the real work. Job things are fake work. Jobs are fake work. Like, we're getting there, honey. I see you. I got you, my friend. Don't worry about it. Your birthday's here. When is the birthday, by the way? I know it's just about here, but anyway, last little thing about Virgo. The job is not the real work. If we're in a job right now, how can we continue to work on ourselves while we're in a job so that we can begin to shift our gears to creating a life for ourselves outside of a job, if that's what we want? But if you're satisfied with your job, by all means, have some fun, as you're the creator of your reality. If you don't like your job, how can you start working on yourself to get the gears moving in a different direction? That's really all it is. All right. Thank you, Virgo. You're the best. Let's get it. Libra, happy birthday. October 14th. I see you, Paige. Right around the corner. She said, hustle, hun. Sagittarius, right now. Sorry, we got two more. Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. This is the 7th house. This is all about communication. So if Virgo is all about the work, 7th house is how we then connect on that work. Like what we're here to do together as souls. Like, okay, 7th house, Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. This is connection. This can be marriage. This also can be business relationship. This can be balance as well, of just being connected within oneself. Yes, bringing the parts of your soul back together. Rest well, Court. Good to see you too. Appreciate you. We flow forward. House number 7. Do I have any Libras here today? Let's get right to it, my dudes. Sun, Moon, Ascendant, house number 7. Some beautiful cards here for you. Before I even pulled the last card, which is, they're all so freaking beautiful, Libra. This is the birthday. Of course you, Paige. Look at this. Libra gang. The dream. Frankie's, I see you. Coming right up. We got the dream. Turning in. And success. Melanie, we'll get to Scorpio. You can stop spamming. Libra, since it's your birthday, we got an extra card for you. Completion there underneath the success card, showing to me that you have reached a state of completion. The success, the dream, it's all right around the corner. Right now, just keep focusing on what you've been doing. Continue that journey of turning in, recognizing that this whole life is really all about your connection within yourself and how that expresses externally. Ultimately, you get to lay down the shift in your reality. You don't have to be victim to your circumstances. You can choose to focus your energies to create the life that it is that you wish. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying that you haven't had a tough life. I am saying that I believe in you and your capacities to achieve your own dream and your own success, whatever that means to you, not based on the society that only wants you to be successful in regards to how society defines success. Like, nah, in fact, if you ask me, like, success, a lot of times with how I flow, has nothing to do with what society feels like. But you know, like, we do have to work within this matrix that we have been born into. But don't get lost in it. As it said, be in the world, but not of the world. And the practice of turning inward allows you to dive deeper into that journey, to be in the world, but not of the world. Because when you cultivate your internal environment, this is how you allow your truth to emanate, to be expressed through you. You can either let the vibe shift you, or you can shift the vibe. And this is one or the other. And you're so freaking strong, fam. You're so freaking strong. You might look scrawny, you might look tiny, and that's okay. You know, that just makes them not be able to actually size you up, because you're stronger than you look. And you're so much more wise than you give yourself credit for. I'm tiny and cute but fierce, exactly. And don't mistake this kindness for weakness. Don't mistake this kindness for weakness. You know, currently I just started the original Dragon Ball from 1986, and like, I love it. This is a strong Goku energy that I'm getting. Like, he's a tiny 12-year-old boy who can beat up all the baddest people in the world, and he's so innocent. So like, and he was raised in the mountains basically by himself, so he doesn't know how society works. He's not inclined to standard norms and expectations and societal cues. He just does his due. And like, that's like you just living your own dream and allowing you to be successful within your own beingness, regardless of how other people perceive it. And then once you've reached that status, it will just continue to fine tune itself. It'll continue. As you see, life is one big sculpting practice. Life is one big sculpting practice. Your life, you are a mighty fine piece of granite. And life and how you choose to show up is just chiseling away all the little bits. You know, after, you know, at first it just looks like a big chunk. And then you keep chiseling, and, you know, it starts to maybe take shapes. And then you keep getting finer and finer and finer and finer until it actually looks what you're going for. And you allow your image to emanate. You must remain persistent in order to chisel. You can't stop. You can take breaks here and there. You can go on journeys. That stone's not going anywhere. And sometimes you make a mistake and you have to scrap that entire thing. And you have to get an entire new granite block. We're learning. Don't be too attached. Alright, Libra. I appreciate you. That was fun. I'm just out here rambling today. It's been a little bit since I've done Tarot Tuesday, so I'm just like letting it flow through me. We're taking our time this evening, but I like it. I like these channel messages. It's been a while since I just let myself do that. So let's keep going. Hey, y'all, I appreciate your gratitude. Happy birthday, Libra. What can I say for you, my dudes? Let's keep it flowing. Next up, we got house number 8, Scorpio. Sun, moon, ascendant. It's awesome. Needed to hear it. I see you, fam. I'm so grateful to be here as a mirror to share the message. Pace and vibe. Heck yeah, Tim. Cheers, my man. Yes, happy birthday, Libra. Next, we have Ellie. I think you may have fallen for a fake account. Next, we have 8th house, Scorpio. Sun, moon, ascendants, wherever you got a Pluto placement. 8th house is death, is the depths. 8th house is the shadow, the aspect of the self to continue to integrate. 8th house is a great teacher. Let's get right to it. Scorpio, sun, moon, ascendants. We cut it. We clear it. We let it rest. Draw 2. Wow, look at that. Look at that. He jumped in while I was shuffling. I put him back in the deck, shuffled around a little bit more, and wanted to be shown tonight. I wonder when this guy's birthday is. Anybody want to Google when Osho was born? The master here, the one the deck is named after, the Zen Osho Tarot deck. Scorpio, we have patience here. Change in the root. Change. Scorpio, very clear message for you. Ultimately, this life is all about the path and the practice of self-mastery. It requires patience. It's one of the greatest virtues that we can embody. Change is the only constant in our life. Patience assists in that journey of change. The master doesn't need anything. You're on the way. Just keep doing the things that help you practice your mastery and stop doing the things that get in the way. Stop getting in your own way, Scorpio. What the fuck, Scorpio? Do I have to say it like that? Because that's what Scorpio is always doing with the tail. Either accidentally stinging people or getting in their own way by tripping over their own tail. I really do, because that's the only way that they will pick up the message. Like, we're out here on the path of self-mastery. Just chill, fam. Jeez. Patience, Padawan. You know what I'm saying? Patience, Padawan. Like, we all get there in our own time. Just chill, fam. Like, goodness. You can't rush the process. You can't rush the process. The process is perfect. And when you get in your own way, when you try to take matters into your own hands, you're slowing yourself down. You're honestly looking silly, making a fool out of yourself. You're not a fool. You're on this path. So stop being a fool. Scorpio. I think that's it. I think that's all I have for you today. House number 8. We keep flowing. House number 9. House number 9. Osho's a Sagittarius. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate that. Good to know. House number 9 is Sagittarius. Sun, moon, ascendants. House number 9. This is divine wisdom. This is guidance. Oh yeah, I forgot that Melanie kept spamming Scorpio over and over again. Oh, I love ironic nature of life. Sagittarius, sun, moon, ascendants. 9th house, this is divine wisdom. This is that higher guidance. So good. 9th house, Sagittarius. Let's see what the message is. We cut it. We clear it. We let it rest. Sag. This is very Sag reading. We have the burden here. Aloneness, once again. An integration here. Integration, the burden, and aloneness for Sagittarius. Sag, if I know you, you love to be social. In fact, like, from the Sag I met in my life, like, it's really difficult to be by oneself. The burden of being alone. And maybe it has to do with, like, abandonment, wounding, or learning how to love oneself unconditionally. But right now, like, the greatest integration can occur when we have time for ourselves. Like, there's so much sanctity in solitude. And it's rare. It's rare to actually have hermit in solitude. And to be able to prioritize for that oneself is essential. House number 9, the wisdom that's moving through me right now is to not see time for self as a burden. Recognizing that burdens can be blessings based on your perspective. Everything is about perspective. Some of these burdens can be blessings in disguise. Learning how to allow your time to focus on your connection with yourself, you as the divine, will allow you that time to then integrate this wisdom and to take responsibility and reclaim your power as an individual, Sagittarius. And then once you have that established, that's when the real connection can play out. That's like, rather than these just like superfluous, seasonal, superfluous seasonal connections. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Situationships. Like, you're done with this chapter of situationships, superfluous seasonal situationships. Like, you're ready for your friend group that lasts for 13 seasons. You know, you're looking for your Joey and your Monica and your Ross and your Rachel and your I think there's one more. Like, they lasted so many seasons together. What? Like, you're not just like here to have like a friend for like a year or two. Like, you're ready for your true crew. And it might not be what you like. Chandler, he's the one. Phoebe, thank y'all. There we go. Can't forget Chandler and Phoebe. What is it? Monica, Joey, Ross, Rachel, Chandler, Phoebe. Yeah, there's 6 of them. See, I was more familiar with Marshall and Lily and Ted and Robin and Barney. Like, those 5 were my friends growing up. So, they also lasted a fair amount of seasons until they ruined the entire show with 1 episode, but that's a different story. What I'm getting at, Sagittarius, it all begins within, because when you know yourself, your friends are more so actually reflections of you. When you know yourself, your friends aren't just separate from you, they're extensions of you. Like, your community is you. Like, yeah, like, we're that tight, homie. It's just like learning how to let it play out, because it's all God. At the end of the day, it's all God. It's just really easy to like get lost in the sauce. I want those friends too, right? That's what life is really all about. But you got those friends, and they all begin within. It's all right here. Like, every single cell within your being is that fam band. Every single organ is working together to co-create you, this being. And like, your heart and your lungs and your liver and your stomach, these are all beings who just show up and vibe out together every single day. They're the friends. And then they just like continue, like, as above so below. Like, it's a fractal. Like, when you stay focused on that sacred geometry, it just continues to fractalize infinitum. It's all God. It's all God. And it's nothing more than a reflection of you. And it's like, this is all happening within. Like, everything that you experience is happening inside. of you. Like, your body is equipped with all of these amazing sensors and receptors to pick up on all of this information with your senses, and then your brain is then deciphering all of that information and translating it into whatever it is that you want it to be. And this is like why it's so important to clean our brain, to clean our mind, to recognize like how it is that we are communicating. Okie dokie, Arch. That's some higher wisdom Sagittarius shit right there. I freaking love that energy. Let's keep it moving. Blessings and blessings and blessings indeed. How do we clean our mind? Meditate. Chant Hare Krishna. Journal. Go see a therapist. Practice breathwork. Reiki. Stop watching porn. Eat some good food. Meet some good people. Mindfulness definitely is a great way to do it. You go, Paige. Grounding. Getting outside into nature. Breathing next to water. Listening to the sound of bees. Stop watching junk television. Stop watching the news. Drop out of school. Unless it's a school that's like very much in alignment with your core teachings and values. Heresy, Gary on Religion says. Heresy. Sacrilege, I tell you. Alright, Capricorn, let's get it. Let's get it. House number 10. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. We got 11.1k likes up there. Let's do this. I'm digging it. Alrighty. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Wherever you may have a Saturn placement, this is the foundation. This is the base frequency, the energy that you wake up in, and then the world that is created from this space. Capricorn is the law. The law. It's the order of reality itself. It's the rules of the matrix. How are you bending them? Stop that. Stop. Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Let's get it. We draw two. Dude, I dig it. Suppression here. Suppression. Yes, Aries is number 1. We have house number 10 right now. It's Capricorn. Moment to moment. Suppression. And guilt here. So I'm going to utilize my platform to talk about how society in which we live is a very piss poor expression of Capricornian energy, and the reason why Saturn has a bad rap and why Father has a bad rap, because there are very few father figures in this day and age, because the system in which we inhabit, which we have inherited, recognize that by dismantling a healthy father figure, you are able to then destroy the family unit, and by destroying the family unit you can create disconnect, and then through disconnect you can then implement suppression, and you're much able to then control the individual. But since we've all caught up on that, and we know this, we're just out here walking above these attempts at suppression, moment to moment, just like you can try to project that guilt and that shame and that fear and that doubt and that worry onto me, but you cannot suppress me. Like, ultimately, learning how to recognize that God's law is higher than man's, and having faith that things are playing out in your favor and things are working in order. There is harmony. Naturally, it's how the universe operates. And if you know, you know. Like, I'm here as a pillar to let you know that we have made it. If you're seeing this message, we've made it. Loud and clear. Like, tell the mothership we are here and we are reclaiming the empire. And we're gonna burn it all down. And it's fucking beautiful. God as in you. See, God is you. I am nothing more than a reflection of you. God is everything and nothing simultaneously. And we get to just dance. We get to dance amongst the flames. That's the message here today. And we're watching that with this shift of the Saturn return, but more so accompanying everything that's been happening with Uranus, Neptune, and especially Pluto moving from Capricorn to Aquarius. Big shift for the entire world at large and the governmental structures and how things are playing out. But we're just silly kids out here on the internet. Like don't take anything that I'm saying seriously. She's right. Cheers, fam. Respect. Out here, just channeling. Gotta keep the vocal cords hydrated. I'll continue to return to this. This song will ring true forever and eternity. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stay aside and look? Ooh, some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. These songs of freedom. Shouts out, y'all. I see you. I see you. Squad's all here. It's happening. It's wild. The prophecy is playing out perfectly. Stay true to you. We all have an important role to play. Don't you forget that. Godspeed, Capricorn. Thanks for that reading. Let's keep moving. Aquarius. Aquarius, are you here? Sun, Moon, Ascendants, house number 11. This is the collective. This is the embodiment of everybody here doing the thing. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Wherever you may have your honest placement. Let's do this. Hey. Aquarius, we have success. We have breakthrough here. Breakthrough, success. The miser here in reverse in the root. Joy always breaks through misery. Joy always succeeds over miser energy. Success over misery every day of the week. Ultimately, you're the creator of your reality. If you want to stay focused on those things that bring you misery, then that's what's going to succeed. But if you continue to break through, joy is the silver lining. Joy is the beauty of life. Joy is the essence of your existence. Yes, I do believe this. I believe that we are joyous in nature. I do believe that we deserve to feel this way. And anybody who's trying to convince us otherwise has lost sight. That's for sure. Joy is joyous. Exactly, Victoria. You're picking up what we're putting down. I see it today. I appreciate the resonance. What's good, Mama Wolf? Good to see ya. Yes, Aquarius. We are breaking through this miserly energy, this world that was created off of this. And we're breaking through. Success. Aquarian age is right around the corner. Houston, we have landed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings and salutations. Jump on in, the water's fine. Right now, ultimately, just returning the power to oneself and learning how to cultivate this within. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. But you're getting a pretty good grip of it, honestly. Super Squad. Rest well. Yes. Alright, Aquarius, we're going to keep it flowing. We've been on here for an hour and 11 minutes. An hour and 11 minutes. I love it. With house number 11 complete, we flow forward to house number 12. Pisces. Sun, Moon, Ascendants, Pisces. Perfect. Perfect. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Pisces is house number 12. This is you and your space. That's beyond definition, comprehension. Yes, yes, yes. This is the subconscious. This is the dream. This is that which is of the imagination. Pisces, house number 12. Let's do this, shall we? Focus. Flowing in, of course, I cut the deck, and we get it, because, you know, we're in sync. We're in sync, you know what I'm saying? In tune. Tearing up my heart. House number 12. Pisces. Bro. This is some bomb-ass cards for the Pisces right now. I tell you what, we got We Are the World in reverse. We have We Are the World. We have the Source. The Source. And we have the Lovers here in reverse. And because I just have such strong Pisces placements, we have Patience there. Pisces. So strong. The Lovers, the Source, and We Are the World. This is the truth. This is the truth. See, the Source is the union of the God, Goddess. And this is the essence and the creation of the world. When Mother Earth and Father Sky come together, both aspects of the Source, of the Divine, they create life. As simple as that. And this goes all the way down to microcosmic levels and within you and your psyche as well. So, learning how to tap into your connection to Source, that eternal essence of the love within and all around thee, learning how to cultivate this frequency and then step into this. This is what is required for that new world, new earth, heavenly Eden energy. Yes, because ultimately, this is a life based in frequency. The more you can source your frequency of divinity, your own connection to the lovers within, your yin, your yang, your masculine, your feminine, your masculine, bringing to union these aspects of self, this is how you can show up here whole, honoring every bit of you in your multidimensionality. Pisces. If this ain't a Pisces reading, I don't know what is ultimately, because Pisces is all of that and none of it and more. And learning how to tap into your connection with Source as an individual, hearing these words today. Creating a life of love. All that in a bag of chips. Creating a world of divinity. However that means or looks like to you today. How can you remind yourself that, dang, this life is sacred and I want to imbue love and source consciousness into every bit of my existence to the best of my ability. It can really get that nitty gritty. It's corny, I know it is, but you get to define it. It doesn't have to be what someone else has told you it is, what like the church defines it as. Like, no, that which brings you love, that which you feel joy about, that which lights you up, that which makes you glad to be alive, that is your connection to the divine. It's continuing to create a life of that to the best of your ability, so that you have an overflow, so when things are challenging thee, you can still hold true, continuing to ground into this way of beingness. Practice, practice, practice. Breath by breath. That was cute. I like that. Cheers. Kalimba. 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 Yes, pentatonic D scale. A gift from Champ. Super cute. Okie dokie, I'm hungry. That was a lot of energy. I just talked your ear off for like an hour and a half. Ooh, that'd be fun to sing with. I'm gonna go eat some leftover soup. It's super good. And then we'll probably jump back on here in like 30 minutes to an hour and do some personal readings. So if anybody wants to jump back in and receive a personal reading this evening, you can come vibe out later. If you just want to vibe out, you're more than welcome to do so. You can get the recording of this on my YouTube tomorrow. This should be up tomorrow on my YouTube. You can find that over there. And this will be recorded if you miss any of those readings and you want to go check it out. I appreciate y'all so much. This was such a vibey evening. Thank you for your reflection. Thank you for co-creating this container with me. I wouldn't be here by myself. I'm so grateful to continue to show up and just do this. What an honor and a joy it is. Absolutely. Just reminder, I'm sure all y'all are aware, there are fake accounts out there. It's not me. You don't have to let me know. You don't have to send me DMs. I'm well aware. You can just report them or block them, ignore them. If you ever did want a reading one-on-one outside of this live stream, you can book that on my website, zenthealchemist.com. There's a calendar over there. We will be doing live readings tonight, so if you want to jump back in, we'll be here for that. If you want to join the Discord, you're also more than welcome to check us out in the Discord. We have a weekly community meditation every Monday evening. That happened yesterday. It was very refreshing, very gentle. If you ever want to join us for that, you're more than welcome to do so. More things on the way. Much love, everybody. Godspeed. You legends, you. So good to see you. Always. And so much love. Until next time. See you soon. Fare thee well. We, if you know, you know.